Are you coming up for retirement? Are you about to retire? Getting up towards the 60s maybe? Even older? They're going to put you out to pasture? Or are you already retired, recently retired? Are you a tradesman, carpenter, plumber, fitter and turner? Are you an office worker? Are you a cleaner? Or are you a CEO of a large company? Let me tell you something. You are none of those things. Whatever your occupation was, whatever your career was, you were never it. That's just a position, something that you did. The trouble is, most of us identify with what we do. We identify with it so strongly that we use those words. We say, I am a carpenter. I am the boss of this corporation. Those words, I am, are so important because let's face it, what we really are, and think about it, especially when you're retiring, the most important words are I am, with nothing else added behind it. Let go of the identity, the identification with what you are doing, because this is not what you are. Now you are I am with the freedom to choose what you're going to be, to choose what you're going to identify with from now on, knowing full well now that I've told you, that it's just something you are identifying yourself in, immersing yourself in, giving your life to perhaps. Now you have the freedom to choose. I'm assuming, of course, you've made arrangements so that you can live fairly securely. Hopefully you don't have any big debts, you have good health. But if you have these things, you have something wonderful going for you now. So what are you going to do with your life, you're thinking? Have I lost something precious here? Well, you've put what you were, which was once precious to you, aside. It's never lost completely. It's now a memory. It's experience that you can use perhaps in some way in the years you have left. And what are you going to do with the years you have left? Think about that for a while. Feel about it. What would you like to do? You've never had this freedom before. You can do anything you want. Anything. Choose. And what will you probably choose? Things you've been interested in all of your life. Maybe that's something that you put aside because you had to go and get a second job. But before that was a great hobby that you really loved it. It'll be something like that. Something that you liked perhaps as a child or as an adolescent, but put aside as being referred to by others perhaps as childish. You can never make a living at it. I can recall when I was at school, a little boy of about probably 12. Teacher took me aside and said, "Artists are great, Tom. Great. You are really good at drawing and painting, but you'll never make a living at it." And of course, I never did. My occupation for many years was radio telecommunications on the operative side of it, and I loved it. I loved it. But the job, the career, left me behind as technology moved on. So I had to take jobs I didn't like much. boring office jobs. I was the typical Monday to Friday person, which so many of us are when we're working. But when retirement comes, to get back, freedom to do what you really want. And these can be your most productive, rewarding years, making new friends, making a new life for yourself, and really living, perhaps living in ways that you've never lived before. You can gain great satisfaction out of being retired. The early months of it, maybe the first year or two of it, might be quite bad for you. You mightn't enjoy it at all, but you will work into it. These years, and I've been retired now for 28 years, these are the best years of your life.